Right, so I'm back at my KeePass interface, and this is where I'm going to set my master key password. This is the only password you're ever going to actually require, and if you have a look at here, you've actually got this little button and you can actually hide what you're typing and unhide it. And I'm just going to click on it and hopefully, yep, I've actually got it so that it is actually unhidden. If I click this, as you can see, it's hidden by asterisk. So I'm going to untype it. And as I type, you'll notice that this bar will start changing colours, and it will also give me how strong the encryption is. So let's try this. There we go. So we've got a nice strong password there, and this is just an example. So if I'm happy with this, I need to actually remember what I've done. So I'm going to click OK. The reason why I have to remember it is because I have to repeat this password. Okay, so I'm actually going to get rid of this and I'm going to unhide it, and I'm going to set one so that you can't actually see it. So here it goes. Okay, and I'm then going to repeat the password that I've set. And click OK again. And now, because I've got both of the passwords correct, it goes straight through to the normal interface. Now down the side here you actually have a folder that says General, and within it there are different types or areas of passwords that you can save. So you can save Windows passwords, your network passwords, internet passwords, email passwords, and one for home banking as well. I'm going to demonstrate how to set up an email password. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on email, and then I'm going to go to add entry. So I'm going to give this a title, and I'm going to call it my spare email. Okay, and my username, which is itmadtutor2@gmail.com. Right, now you'll notice that the actual password area is already filled. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you that you can actually look at the passwords that it's already set in there, and we're also going to have a look at the quality of it. So this is 110-bit encryption. Now this button here allows me to generate random passwords, and there are different ones that we can actually use. Now I can actually set the number of letters or characters within my password, and you've got length of generated password, so I can actually increase like that, or I can decrease dependent on what you're allowed to do by the actual company you're setting your password for. You'll also notice that you can actually choose the types of things that you add into your password. Now, as I said before, some companies don't allow things like spaces and brackets and special characters, so you can actually take those out and you can add in things like minus and underline. You can also include specific characters. So for example, exclamation marks are usually used quite often, so you can use an exclamation mark and you can use a full stop or period. Right, so that's one way of doing it. Or we can click advanced. Now you can actually specify that each character must occur at most once, and that prevents repeats of the same letters in either upper or lowercase or numbers. And you can also exclude lookalike characters. So for example, you can exclude fives and S's so that it prevents the S being repeated as a capital, which could look similar to a number 5. So you've got that option there. Okay, if I actually click on generate, as you can see, I can just keep clicking through and generate a password. I've also got generate using a pattern. So you can actually sort of set up a pattern for yourself here. I just want to go back to generate this. Now here I've also got high ANSI characters, so that's special characters and things. So I'm just going to increase my number of letters here, or characters, and I'm going to include in special characters and brackets. Now, just so that you're aware, if you have a look at this now, it increases the actual number of characters you've got, and if you notice, as I click through, the actual encryption quality goes up and down, so you can actually stick with one that's quite high. This looks quite good. That's 125-bit encryption. It's 119. I'll see if I can get 127, which I had. There we go, there's a nice one. 131 bits. So if you're happy with that password, you just click accept, and it's actually populated there. You can specify your URL, so if we're going to the Google login, you can actually specify your Gmail login here, and that means that you can actually go directly to it from your actual safe. And once we've done that, just turn that off so no one else can look over your shoulder. The other thing you can do is you can actually set up an expire. So it's worthwhile thinking about maybe changing your passwords every 6 months, something like that. So you can actually click expire and you can give it a date. So I might actually want to change this to the 7th of the 1st, 2015. For example, so it's actually telling me that I need to change my password in 12 months' time. You don't have to have that if you don't want. And once you've actually set that all up and you're happy with what you've actually done, you just click OK, and that's your first password set up. To actually use it, what you would do is you'd go to your Gmail account, and you can actually right click now on this, and all you have to do is copy your password. Now, what will happen is this will actually give you time to go to your actual Gmail account and put your password in, and it gives you about 30 seconds. If you take longer than that, you will have to come back in and you will have to click on it and copy the password again. And you'll notice that you can edit your entry here, you can duplicate it, you can delete it as well. So it's quite useful from that point of view. And you do this setting up of different things in the same way. So if you're setting up a Windows password, you click on your Windows folder and you click enter an entry, and you go through the same procedure. And the same goes for doing your network and your internet. And if I just click back on my email here, right, I hadn't intended to do that, so I'll just drag that out. If I just go in here, you'll see that my single Gmail account is actually saved there, and you can actually move these folders around if you want to. Hopefully this has given you food for thought, and there are other programs available. I like KeePass personally, but there's things like LastPass and other companies that produce them, so you can actually search for password safes or password safe software online and then decide on which type that you would like.